The camera work used within the opening sequence of psychological horror films consists of close-up and medium shots. The film Wicker Man uses close-up shots to emphasize the character's scared facial expression during the fire and communicate the dangerous and life-threatening situation the characters are in, possibly foreshadowing the fast pace of the film. The Sixth Sense uses close-up shots to highlight any possible significant objects, such as the light bulb. Unlike the other two films, Insidious uses long shots and close-up shots to introduce the audience to the setting of the haunted house. The use of these shots prepare the audience for where the film will be based and where the most action will take place. Towards the end of the opening sequence of Insidious, the audience see a close-up shot of a woman's face in low-key lighting. The emphasis on this woman's face shows the audience has significance to the storyline and that she's possibly the antagonist's victim. The editing techniques used within horror films are slow and contain a lot of blackouts and fades. The film Insidious begins with a black background and uses red font to display the credits. The use of these colours creates an eerie and dangerous atmosphere for the audience, which effectively sets tension and grabs their attention. The colour red connotes danger and anger, whereas the colour black represents death and grief, which foreshadows the themes within the film. The credits fade off the screen in the smoky grey font, which move in swirly motions representing fire and again emphasising the theme of danger and death. All the credits within the opening sequence have a screen time of 4 seconds except the name of the film. When the name of the film appears on the screen, the background music becomes louder as well as faster and stops as soon as the name fades out. The name of the film is also bigger and brighter than the other text within the opening sequence. This technique is effective because the name is more likely to stick in the audience's mind. It also creates curiosity within the audience's mind. They're left to wonder what exactly is Insidious, which encourages them to continue watching in order to find out. The Sixth Sense uses a similar technique as Insidious with the text within the title sequence. The film title has the longest screen time and the music begins to play once the text appears on screen. Again, The Sixth Sense uses a black background for the credits, but instead uses a white font. This technique is successful at getting the audience's attention as it makes the text stand out and focuses the audience's attention on the text. The use of a black background and white handwriting also establishes the good versus bad theme within the film, as the colour black connotes evilness and the colour white connotes innocence and purity. However, the opening sequence of The Wicker Man has a different approach with their editing technique. The opening scene contains rapid shot transitions and displays their credit on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. The shot transitions are used to show the fast pace of the film and the frantic panic the characters are feeling during the fire scene. The placement of the text is used to focus the audience's attention on the scene rather than the credit. The text stays on the screen for a maximum of 4 seconds. The colours and lighting used in psychological horror films tend to be very dark and low-key to set a mysterious and scary atmosphere for the audience. The Sixth Sense uses low-key lighting throughout the title sequence and uses the lighting to emphasise specific objects such as the light bulb. The lighting used towards the end highlights the main character's shadow, making her appear more vulnerable and the setting more intimidating. Insidious uses colours such as black, grey and red, representing darkness and fire and foreshadowing the ending of the film. It shows black and white shots of the haunted house, and the main source of lighting on the screen is from objects such as candles and lamps. The use of the colours black and white throughout the opening sequence foreshadows the good versus bad themes throughout the film. Black representing the evil, powerful and mysterious antagonist, whereas white represents the innocence and purity of the protagonist. The opening sequence to The Wicker Man uses bright and naturalistic lighting during the title sequence to set a normal and soothing setting for the audience before the fire happens. This technique surprises the audience because it goes against the usual horror film lighting and makes the crash and fire unexpected. The police officer in the opening sequence wears all black to show the audience his authority and seriousness throughout the film, whereas the little girl wears red and white to show that although children are usually portrayed as cute and innocent, she's in fact the most dangerous character within the film. Similar to the film Insidious, the name of the film is in orange and red font to foreshadow the fire and danger within the film.